Tori, you think you'll enjoy prison?
Das, since you guys both work in the field, I know personally that you guys have both tested positive at some point in the last couple of weeks. Do you guys want to talk about how your guys' experiences are and how they kind of both differed?
Yeah, so, it's almost, we've all come to terms, and I think as healthcare workers, you take responsibility, you take an oath when you work in this field, and we've talked about it with us, having kids in the beginning. What do we do? Do we both want to even work at a facility that we know is going to have it? And we both, agreed that we took an oath, and so, but we knew that it was a matter of time before we got it. I actually got it first. I was sitting, I actually didn't have very many symptoms. I was only got tested actually out of precaution. I kind of had, you wear the N95 masks. I don't know if you guys have to wear those masks, but you wear the N95 masks, and it sits so tight on your nose.
Very narrow.
I was thinking I had a sinus infection. No cough. I didn't have fever. Didn't have chills. Just kind of sinusy, and sometimes it happens for me, so I didn't think much of it. And, my oldest, Isabel, she was going to go to her dad's house, and her dad has, their friends there, and I just wanted to be cautious, going from home to home. Coincidentally, that day that I went to get tested, I lost my sense of taste and smell. Thought it was weird, but again, you can get it with a sinus infection, but I came back positive. I'm thankful that I tested because we could have potentially exposed, my daughter's grandparents, and then what could have happened.
Absolutely.
But after that, I got a little bit shortness of breath. It was really hard. I think there was like 1 or 2 days where we were considering going to the hospital. Those are conversations you really don't want to have. Like, which hospital are you going to want to be on a vent on?
Yeah.
And so, but we did have that. And then sure enough, I have really great doctors that, and they gave us the treatment, and I got better really quickly. It took a good 2 weeks total, I think, to get better. And then, him working directly with the patients, wearing the hazmat suits, I'll let you tell. I just want to make it clear we didn't get it from each other.
You guys weren't touching each
Wait,
other?
so the question I have for you is, how long do you think you were carrying it probably before like the symptoms to make you test yourself really came prevalent?
Honestly, probably a couple weeks.
That was my
probably
guess.
about a week and a half. And I'm in the healthcare field, but my symptoms were nothing that they were stating, no fevers, no chills. They're testing everybody in and out for fever. I never got fever, never had a body ache, and didn't get short of breath until I was more into it after I lost my taste of smell. I drink coffee in the morning, and then by 11 o'clock I was making ribs and I couldn't smell or taste.
So, you could smell ribs.
Prior to that, I had just nasal symptoms, nothing crazy. So probably I kind of looked back and traced back who I touched or was in contact with, and it was my sister, was the only person I came in contact with, but even I'd have to tell her, hey, I tested positive. I went and got orange juice.
Oh, wow.
She was a little freaked out. She has 5 kids. It was scary for her.
Oh, absolutely.
It was scary for me, like my guilt. Yeah. So we've tried to isolate as much as possible.
And this goes back to, like, Sarah, like, people just staying home in a sense, because look at how long it actually takes for it to, to show up.
And that's the whole part. You don't know if you're a carrier.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't working or I was home for about 2 weeks, so I felt safe to go to my sister's and pick some oranges. We tried to social distance, but thinking about it, I handed her the bag, she handed me the bag. We still had contact, but she hadn't been out of the house for 2 weeks. I hadn't, so we felt safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different symptoms, and actually at that time, your loss of taste and smell was not a symptom at all. It is now. So if I'm just looking at the guidelines, I would have never. And if it wasn't for Isabel,
Oh, even your
And
mom
then
went through the same
about
thing, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what was,
yeah,
where were you at on symptoms, Victor?
I I probably think I had it like after I tested it. It probably had been like a week before, and I
Hmm.
probably had it. I felt really tired, but I just thought it was long hours at work and not sleeping much. And when I finally hit me, it was on a Friday night. I got out of the shower and I just started like shivering and body aches, fever, and then I kind of looked at Sarah and said, "Yeah, I think I have it." And she was like, "Yeah, you have it."
Dang.
And um, we that Monday after I tested, and sure enough, I had it. Um, she says it's like a man cold that I overreact, but I think I had it way worse. It was like my breathing was really bad. I would get out of bed and I had to sit at the edge of the bed to catch my breath. Like I would walk to the couch and have to sit down and catch my breath. It was tough on the breathing. Like you said, we had the conversations with what hospital we're gonna go to because it's you hear everything in the news and then you're feeling it, and like you think about it, you're like, okay, this is the way I'm heading. I'm heading to the hospital. Like it's a matter of time.
Dang.
and we're nurses, so we know when the symptoms are the symptoms.
Yeah.
And I felt like so many of the patients that have ended up on meds, the question I had is, do they wait too long?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
his oxygen levels dropping and dropping, and he can't get them up. Well, like, I think it's kind of a terrible thing to have these conversations. Like, okay, which hospital has the best vents if that's where you're headed, and should we get you an emergency bag because I can't go in there with you, and what about the kids? And that's where I said it's a slap in the face where we're out here trying to save your life, trying to save your grandma, getting it ourselves, and you're protesting for the beach.
Like I called my life insurance, they're on it, and it's like you.
That's true.
Think about it.
It was.
But you're having these symptoms, and you only know where they're gonna go there. Like if your saturation is dropping, like they told you, like the doctor said, if it drops under 94, you gotta go to the hospital. There was many times we were like at 92,
88.
and we were like, let's just kind of ride it out, and but you know where you're heading.
Yeah.
I did the treatment of the hydrochloroquine, the one that it's all over the news. Some people might use it, others don't. I think it helped me because after my last dose, the next morning, I was able to wake up and actually take a deep breath without coughing and feel like I was choking.
Oh wow.
And you did treatment too, and I think it definitely does. Me personally, it did. After my last dose, the next morning I felt way better. Like I could take a deep breath and not feel like I was gonna choke, which was
That's good.
huge.
Well, I'm glad you guys were able to recover from that because
It's just crazy. Like your whole story right now, like that literally gave me chills with the whole like figuring out hospital, like teary-eyed, because it's sad. Like one, you guys are our friends. I don't want anything to happen to you
you're
guys.
not my friend.
But then the
No, I'm
other
joking.
part is like to think you guys are like healthy 30-year-olds,
Yeah.
like where like the people who are not as fortunate and just how south and how fast it goes that way.
Yeah, it does.
And it's within days, every single day. It's like, and it's crazy to be on that end of watching, like, Victor, a loved one, like every single day first.
Mhm.
And, another side to it is a lot of insurances right now aren't testing. I know, like, Kaiser's not testing at all their patients. They're also not offering medications for them.
Does
So we paid out of pocket.
Dang.
does this change, you think, your life insurance in a sense? Like if it
No, you die of natural causes still.
right? So it's pretty much you're still good, right?
Don't you love how he looks at me like, you got it? Is it updated? Your life insurance good still? Like,
That's insane.
Well, I don't even think it's probably within the books because it's so new. The virus.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only thing that voids life insurance is suicide. Like otherwise, if you die of natural causes, like I think you're good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now I can see why it.
It's something you shouldn't have to go through, I don't think.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
when did I tell you after the fact? Because I didn't want my family and friends worrying. Half of our family, they don't even know. Well, they'll know now. They watch you.
If they watch us. My family doesn't watch me.
Right? They don't know we know, like, work with these patients. It brings fear. It's amazing what fear, can do for people.
I actually almost feel better talking to you guys because I feel more educated, and like I'm struggling with